shot of tequila before I say this. I want to give a little warning that I hope I don't trigger you, but I will be talking about an eating disorder. As I was growing up, I did dancing from a young age. I was also a cheerleader. I was also a model. So naturally in these type of atmospheres and career choices, it definitely made me perceive how I should look in a certain way. I was very much influenced by what was on Instagram, what was in magazines, another girl getting chosen to be on top of the pyramid because she was skinnier than me. I've definitely had disordered eating from a very young age. And I want to admit that I have done some stupid shit to stay skinny. When I was younger, I would eat really little amounts. I would over-exercise way too much walking, too much exercising. Sometimes I would make myself vomit. And luckily the vomiting wasn't a long phase. I'd only done it a handful of times, but not for a consistent period of time, which feels really weird to share. But if I'm just being honest, I don't want to be that person online that's just like, I'm perfect or perceived as perfect. I want to be real. I've been through some stupid shit to look a certain way because I've had such extreme body dysmorphia problems my whole life. But it's just naturally the pressure I put on myself, always wanting to look a certain way, as well as, outside opinions of careers I was in or partners I was with. I just naturally always compared myself to people online or even in school because I just had such problems fitting in, and I thought maybe if I was skinnier that people would like me more, which sounds really silly, but it is really silly. But although I went through that growing up, I definitely came out of it after Love Island, surprisingly, even though I had such bad acne on the show and I was 10 kilos heavier than more than 10 kilos. I was like 18 kilos heavier than I am. I was like 15 kilos heavier than what I am now, which is crazy. But when I talked to my skin specialist, they recommended me to cut out meat. So I became vegetarian and I had a better relationship with food and exercise. And I'm really lucky to have bounced back after my kids with putting in the effort to exercise and eat well, of course, but it doesn't change the fact that I still sometimes look at myself in the mirror and think I'm too big. It's definitely something I still struggle with, the idea of what I look like in my body image. And I don't know, sometimes I even see photos of myself and I'm like, oh, I look really good there. And then I see some photos and I'm like, yuck, I look so gross. So even though I'm talking about all of this, and I definitely have come through the hardest end of it, like when I was younger and growing up, and now that I've become an adult, I feel like I deal with it a bit more, but I don't want to pretend like I'm 100% confident because my body image is something I struggle with almost every day. All right, let me say this up front so we're all on the same page. If you've ever cancelled plans because of your face, stared at yourself in the mirror too long and accidentally ruined your own day, the thought of, I'll be confident once I fix this. Congratulations, you're normal. Welcome to Bite Hard. This episode is about body image, not the Pinterest quote version, the real one, the exhausting one. The one where we're doing okay and then suddenly you see yourself in bad lighting or you're like, oh, never mind, I hate myself again. All right, let's start with the fun one. Acne, or as I like to call it, the villain that made me cancel half my life. I've had acne for years, and not, oh, cute little breakout kind. I'm talking angry, hormonal, painful mountains, pimples, cystic acne that show up like they're paying rent. If you watched me on Love Island, you would have seen how bad my skin was then. There were days I'd wake up, feel my face before I even opened my eyes and just know the vibe was off. Like, oh cool, new cyst. Guess I'm cancelling my personality today. And what's wild is how quickly acne becomes your whole identity in your own head. You stop being you. You become the girl with bad skin. I'd be mid-conversation thinking, are they listening to me or staring at my chin? Then you overcompensate. You're funnier, louder, nicer because God forbid your skin and personality disappoint. And don't even get me started on mirrors. Mirrors are evil, especially bathroom mirrors, especially at night, especially with overhead lighting. Whoever invented that lighting hates women. With social media, I feel like you naturally spiral. It's just like a spiral accelerator, which is basically a 24/7 audition you didn't agree to be in. Everyone looks flawless, glowy, effortless, clear-skinned while you're drinking water and minding your business. Meanwhile, I'm like, I've changed my diet, my pillowcase, my skincare, my hormones, my will to live. What more do you want from me? And even when you know it's filtered, your brain still compares because confidence isn't logical, it's emotional. And the emotion is unusual. Why does everyone look like a model and I look like I'm going through something because I'm going through acne? Reality TV, while actively hating your face, was brutal. Now, imagine all of that, but in HD. Going on a reality show while my skin was in its absolute worst was honestly psychological warfare. No control, no hiding, bright lights, close-ups, cameras that can see your pores you didn't even know existed. And the boys, yeah, let's call that what it was, right? They were shallow, less interested, less effort, less curiosity. And nothing humbles you faster than realizing someone's attraction to you depends on how you look or how smooth your forehead looks that day. That sent me into a spiral of maybe I'm only attractive when I'm perfect or angelic. You know, you're expected to be perfect and angel-like you're from heaven. But then I'd think maybe I'm only lovable when I look easy to love. And that's such a dangerous place to live mentally. But plot twist, something really unexpected happened. Girls related to me. They saw themselves in me. They felt represented. I got so many messages saying, "Thank you for being real." And suddenly the thing I hated most about myself became the thing that connected me to people, which is kind of poetic and also a little bit annoying because why couldn't that happen without the emotional damage? I did Roaccutane and the identity crisis no one warns you about. I went on Roaccutane for 8 months. My acne was always from a hormonal imbalance. Oh, and the more stressed, anxious, or depressed I was, the pimples grew bigger and bigger and spread like a virus. What the fuck, right? Give a girl a break. And yes, my skin did clear, but instead of instant confidence, I had this weird emotional hangover oh, so this is what it's like when people treat you better? It stung because it meant my worth hadn't changed, just my face had. And that messed with me more than the acne ever did. Don't get me wrong. I was grateful and I'm so grateful to have clear skin now. Well, kind of clear skin, no active pimples anymore, but the scarring is cooked. Got to do more skin needling, I think, to fix that issue. And my confidence has improved, but I still have scars from that period of my life emotionally. And I just want to say for anyone interested in Roaccutane, I was lucky enough to not experience any side effects told to you by a skin doctor. I probably had some depressed days, but it's hard to say if that was from being on it or just my mental state throughout. I have recommended it to my friends struggling with acne to try it. So if you are considering it, it's just so important you do your research, as some people aren't as fortunate to go side effect free. I did a course of 6 to 8 months, but again, please do your research because sometimes the course is longer, sometimes the first course doesn't work and you'll be encouraged to do another round. When I was pregnant, I lost control in a whole new way with my body image. Introducing the pregnancy that came along and said, "You think you had body image issues before? That's cute." I did not feel confident pregnant. I wasn't glowing, I was surviving. I wasn't just cute bump pregnant, I was pregnant. Big, swollen, heavy, uncomfortable, and everyone feels entitled to comment, "You're so big. Are you sure it's not twins?" Wow. Thank you so much. I hadn't noticed my own body. I felt completely out of control. My body didn't feel like mine. I couldn't fix it. I couldn't diet it. I couldn't control it. And that's terrifying when you're someone who already struggles with body image. I felt like I disappeared inside my own body. And then when postpartum came around both times, the bounce back lie And suddenly, the world's like, okay, cool, baby's here. So what's the plan with your body? The pressure to bounce back is insane. Why do we, as a society, put so much pressure on women and their bodies? Or is it not as bad as I think it is in my head and I just focus on it too much? I really don't know. Both. People make such rude, pressuring comments when you're just standing there, bleeding, exhausted, hormonal, holding a newborn, thinking, can everyone calm down? I just did something insane with my body. Give me a break. Don't get me wrong. I wanted to lose the weight and I felt guilty for wanting that, wanting my body back. And I felt ungrateful for thinking that. But here's the part I didn't expect. I was excited to move again, not to punish my body, but to reconnect with it, to feel strong, capable, like myself. Exercise stopped being about shrinking and started being about feeling alive again. Here's the thing no one says enough. Body image isn't something you fix. It's something you manage. Some days you're fine, some days you spiral, some days you cry because your jeans just don't fit or feel different. And that doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're human. If you're listening to this thinking, wow, I thought I was the only one who thought like this, you're not. I see you. I am you. We are spiraling together. You don't need clear skin. You don't need a flat stomach. You don't need to look like a model to be worthy of love, desire, or space. Your body is allowed to change. You're allowed to grieve old versions of yourself. You're allowed to still show up anyway. And if today is a wear baggy clothes and avoid mirrors day, that's okay. Or it can be a glamorous day like today. Tomorrow might be softer. And if not, we'll survive that too. Can we just normalize maybe getting rid of unflattering mirrors in every possible spot in the world? Too dramatic? What about breaking a mirror and it not causing bad luck and empowering us? Gosh, I'm clearly having an anti-mirror day today. I have always struggled with body image my whole life. So these chapters where it heightened were really challenging for me. I still struggle with body image to this day. Naturally, I compare myself to people online. I look at myself when I was younger or a teenager and I think, no words. But I think it's important to give ourselves grace, appreciate if you've had a baby. I've had two. And I realize sometimes I'm really hard on myself a lot of the times. I'm my world's harshest critic. Even when I put on this dress, I could just point out all my flaws instead of just being like, cool, that looks amazing. I do love this dress and I do look great. But naturally, my head and my body image problems and body dysmorphia, I guess, just looked at all the problems instead of the positives. I think I'll definitely talk about this more in depth if this is something you guys are interested in. I just wanted to kind of do this shorter episode about this type of topic in a not too confronting or political way. And if you want me to really unpack my deep, dark body image, body dysmorphia problems, I'm definitely willing to talk about it. I've had some unhealthy chapters of my life in regards to my body and doing stupid things to stay thin. I didn't want to touch on that too much today, so maybe we can talk about it another time. All right, I think that's where I'm going to leave this one. If this episode hit a nerve or made you feel seen or even just made you exhale a little, I'm really glad you're here, truly. Body image is such a quiet, heavy thing to carry, especially as women, and most of us are doing it silently while pretending we're fine. If today is a good day with your body, hold on to that. And if today is a hard day where you feel uncomfortable, disconnected, or just not like yourself, please know you're not broken. You're not failing. You're just human, living in a body that's been through things, and we don't give ourselves enough grace for that. Be gentle with yourself tonight. Log off if you need to. Wear the comfy clothes. Don't punish yourself for existing exactly as you are, because you are beautiful. Thank you for letting me be vulnerable with you. Thank you for listening. And thank you for being part of a space where we can talk about the messy stuff without needing to tie it up in a perfect bow. I'm always here for you too. Please reach out if you ever need, and you're doing better than you think. I'll talk to you later. Bye. P.S. I forgot to include this in other episodes, but if you're liking the podcast, please do the download thing. Subscribe if you're from my YouTube. Leave a review. That really helps the podcast. Hopefully by this point, people are already doing that. Share when you're watching it online so I can reshare. Thank you so much. Bye.